Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back to the long-awaited return Star Citizen 3.15.1 PTU. And yes, your eyes do not deceive thee. This is the AEGIS Redeemer. It is here, the next great starship, only 7 short years later, is finally in the game. One thing I gotta love is they kept the nutcrackers. Yay! And they actually work. When you go to accelerate, they actually open up a little bit wider. When you afterburn, they go even ever so much so more. And yeah, this is awesome. So let's take a look inside. Very Aegis-like looking interior, which is very nice. Given that this is the first implementation, some of it is still a wee bit, weird. Now, let's go for the acceleration test. One thing, it is not as maneuverable as I would like, but this is the first implementation, so, hopefully expect things to change. So, as we are going to full speed ahead, we get to 958, which, that's respectable. Again, not terrible, not great, but not terrible either, considering this is now just a gunship. And there we go, we get to see the nutcrackers extend a little bit, and that's Afterburner. So, not as maneuverable as I would like. It does seem, according to some of the stats, that it is not as fast as like a Taurus, I think a lot of people were complaining about, but again, things will change. So now let's look at the interior of the ship. Once we exit the pilot seat, as you can see, we've got a nice little fire extinguisher, very reminiscent of the Warden series, and we have the computer blades right there, which will be very interesting, and I can't wait for those to come online. Next, we've got the remote turret seats. We got the rear turret seat, and then the front turret seat. Now, the front turret seat does do the 2 size 3s. Here we've got the bottom turret, which took me a little bit to figure out how to open. I thought it was broken. Unfortunately, the little shield emitter things here do not move, which I was bummed about. And here we have the lower turret seat. Now, once we initiate the lower turret seat, it locks us in place a little bit. Again, a little janky, but, shit happens. So as we get into the lower turret seat, I was actually pretty blown away because I forgot that these are 2 size 5s, and these seem to be new Gatling weapons. As you can see here, I was testing it out because I didn't know what these were. These are Gatlings, and they've got quite a bit of ammo. These turrets are insane, and the neat part, these aren't the only dual size 5s that come equipped with this ship. The Redeemer is quite the gunship, and it's got quite the firepower to come to bear. So now we're going to hop into the remote turret seats. With these, once you jump in, much like all the rest, you just enter the remote turret, and here we are looking at the rear turret. Now, it's a little bit odd that it starts staring at the rear belly of sorts, but okay, again, could just be a weird glitch. I feel like the rear turret has a very strange arc, especially for where it can see. So, didn't really spend a whole lot of time in there because I wasn't really digging how weird and awkward it was. 2 size 3s on the back, currently outquipped with M5As, so not terrible, not great, but not terrible either. Next, we're going to the front remote turret. Now, this one is very interesting. If somebody is in this turret, the pilot technically doesn't have control. Now, there is currently an issue where the person in the turret can aim the weapon, but the pilot still can fire it only, but that's being worked on. But again, you see, it's kind of a weird arc, weird view that the turret has. Now, I don't know if it's just because the man turret is just so bulbous that they had to do it like that. It's just really weird that it's almost like you're aiming right at it. all in all, again, not terrible. Both those remote turrets do have dual size 3s. The pilot controlled weapons are the front turret, the 2 size 3s, as well as 2 fixed size 4s. Now, again, there's another issue where if you try to slap on gimbaled size 3s, the weapons don't work. Once again, tier 0, first implementation, yada yada yada, viable product, you know the drill. Similarly, as you can see, some of the buttons still don't work fully. Now, what I thought was really cool, I couldn't tell what this was opening at first, but this is the door for the ladder to go down to the second floor. And it was right around here where I noticed it and realized it, and I'm like, oh, big brain move, of course, it's the thing right there. The buttons are a little bit weird, but I'm sure it's easy to get used to. Then, of course, we have the weapon rack right here. I thought I had a weapon on me, but given I was in free fly, I did not. Of course, we got the jump seats, got some supply racks sitting around as well. And now we're going to make our way to the rear of the ship. Now, the rear of the ship, at least on the second floor, it looks like that button highlights, but for some reason it doesn't click. So, again, I'm sure that's coming. Now, here's the top turret. Now, this top turret is the other identical dual size 5 turret. So, recap. This has 4 size 5s, 2 on each turret, and yes, they're both the new Gatling weapons. This thing can bring some pain. Doing a quick little third-person view just to get a sense of how big this turret really is in these weapons, and my god, I feel like these things are going to shred. Here, let's take a listen. Oh yeah, gunship confirmed. Um, Now, one of the really cool things about the Redeemer, aside from the fact it took 7 long years for, quote, the next great starship, gotta get my little jabs in there somehow, is it has the parts inside in these component lockers, I guess, component closets, hideaway, tree fort, secret door things. I don't know. They're not secret. Anywho, so they got the internal parts, which are cool. So you can open up the little doors there, take a look at them for the most part. The batteries don't work, I guess, because batteries aren't a thing yet. Same with the radar. I think that was the radar one. But moving on from there, we are going to move to the downstairs, or the first floor, I guess you could sort of call it, of the Redeemer. And now, the Redeemer would not be complete if it didn't have wonky ladders. 10 points. Now, one thing that made me really excited was seeing the fact that it does look like there are food and drink inside. There's my little excitement jiggle. Inside the fridge for the Redeemer, which all ships should have this. Any ship that has a fridge or something like that should come stocked with snacks and goodies. Now, don't mind me fumbling around trying to find how to take my helmet off, because with the new inventory system, inventory is not active during the free fly. In Broken Moon free fly, so I had to take it off crazily. But I was able to enjoy a beer on my brand new Redeemer, even though everything looks quite disheveled. But that's okay. It also seems that the intoxication effects don't work, as here I am chugging an entire beer in like 2 seconds flat, and no noticeable or negligible effects occurred. But again, I'm not complaining, I'm just happy that I can drink a beer in my Redeemer now. So, moving right along, we've got the wardrobe lockers here, the clothing lockers, which in time will be physicalized. We've got the beds, just like normal. We've got the button for the ladder airlock. Moving right along, again, more clothing. Now that's where the cargo is going to go, at least from what I've seen in concepts and other pictures. So this is going to be where your small amount of cargo is going to be stored. And, it's not a whole lot, but for a gunship, you shouldn't need a whole lot. You're not going far. And of course, the shoilet, the tower toilet, shower, mix. Wow, words are hard, brained my damage. Um, and with that, we come to the other end of the ship, the rear of the ship. Now, of course, I didn't have my helmet because it disappeared because no inventory is active during the free fly, so I couldn't get out and fly around the ship. But I was able to at least locate the rear entrance, which is a personal win for me. So that's going to be the button right there to open up the rear from inside. The ramp seems to open up a little bit too slowly for my liking, but again, with it being a gunship, not a dropship, I guess speed is not exactly preference. But other than that, I think I'm actually going to leave the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Also, stay tuned. I do have a couple of other things coming up that I'm very, very excited to show you. If you do want to keep up with everything going on in my crazy-ass world, check down below in the description. I got the Discord link down there. Some other stuff. If you do want to end up playing Star Citizen, use my code down below as well. You get yourself an extra 5,000 UEC credits to use in the verse however you so please. And figured I would leave the video here with a little bit of the pilot-controlled weapons, as I was talking about that a little bit earlier, but for some god-awful reason, harebrained reason, didn't show it. Even though I was sitting in the pilot seat when this video started. So, A+ for me, right? Anywho, thank you very much for watching. I hope all you beautiful bastards out there, you have yourselves a wonderful day, morning, evening, whenever, wherever you just so happen to be. This is Will, Daylight Gamer, signing out. Love, peace, chicken grease.